तो सेलेक्ट कर दो कौन सी जगह करना है। वो विंडोज से कैप्चर क्लिक करो। नॉट आई आई इसको नहीं, वो सिर्फ बंद होता है, विंडोज लिखा है ना उसको क्लिक करो। हाँ हाँ, अभी ऊपर आया ना विंडोज, कौन सा करना है? लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग यूट्यूब स्टूडियो नहीं है, पावर बीआई डेटा कॉमर्स का है। हम्म, वो से पावर बीआई मेकिंग सीन डेटा गूगल क्रोम वही रहेगा सर। हाँ वही है। ठीक है, यूट्यूब पे जाकर देख लो स्टार्ट होगी ना। लेवल्स काफी कम आएंगे। हाँ हो चुका है, आवाज भी बनी। ठीक है, दोनों सेटअप हो चुके हैं। आप दोनों जगह पे यहाँ पर भी एंड स्क्रीन लिखे है, उधर ये उस पे भी लिख दिया है, लिंक पे भी। तो बस अभी 1 घंटे बाद एंड कर दे जब मीटिंग हो जाएगी, ओके। तो बस जब तक लैपटॉप बस ओपन लग गया, सब कुछ सेटअप हो गया। ओबीएस स्टूडियो को एकदम ऊपर ऊपर लग गया ना, वो आप ऑफ हो जाता है ना। हाँ ठीक है। ओके ठीक है पुनः लैपटॉप से मीटिंग अरेंज कर देता हूँ।
Hello and welcome everyone to Tech Canvas. I'm Rajshri representing Tech Canvas tonight. About Tech Canvas, we are an IT certification training organization for professionals. We offer internationally recognized certifications in the fields of business analysis and data analytics. We are now endorsed education provider of IIBA. We conduct courses on business analysis, data analytics, Power BI, and AI certification training. Also, we conduct lots of corporate training in automation testing and data analytics. In this webinar today, talk about Power BI Foundation, making sense of data. Today we have Priyank Kaneja. Priyank is a highly analytical and process-oriented data analyst with over 19 years of experience spanning business intelligence, BI solution architecture, data analysis, quality, and database administration. He combines strong business acumen with a proven ability to identify patterns, understand business drivers, and deliver sound recommendations that drive organizational success. He is an expert in building, mentoring, and leading cross functional teams to achieve strategic goals. Over the course of his career, Priyank has mentored and cross trained more than 600 professionals, empowering them to grow their skills in data analytics and business intelligence. Priyank holds a Master of Computer Application degree and is a certified Oracle DBA, Six Sigma Green Belt certified, and a Tableau desktop specialist. His depth and expertise and passion for knowledge sharing make him a trusted leader in the field of data driven decision making. Let's welcome Priyank.
Hi, thank you, Rajshri, for introducing me. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this webinar where we will be understanding how we can make sense out of our data using Power BI. So, in today's webinar, the agenda which we are going to cover is we'll have a context setting that, and then we'll see and understand the big Power BI ecosystem. the big picture of it, and how the organizations are using it. And then we'll understand the data and the challenges, how important it is understanding our data before we plan to um, start reporting our data basically. Okay. And then the basic data modeling, we may need to understand as a business analyst, because that will let us know the granularity and tells us about our data, how it flows and how it gets stored within the organization. Okay. After that, we'll be understanding how to build meaningful visuals and come up with insights out of our data. Basically, turning our normal reports, which just shows the pattern and the graphs, into insights. Okay. And we'll talk about the key highlights of our program and how you'll learn and all that thing. And then we'll open the forum for the Q&A. Okay. So this will be a practical session. So I'll just go through few slides just to set up the context and talk about the basic requirement which we as an analyst should have. And then I'll show you on a report which I have created based on the data which I have, and then how we can derive meaningful insights out of that very data to answer from business questions which our leadership may ask. Because as an analyst, our responsibility is to not to tell our leaders that what is happening, but that is also we need to tell that what should be the next course of action which we may need to do, right? So coming to the ecosystem. So why making sense of data matters a lot in these days? Because uh, right now we are moving toward digitalization, and every one of us is producing a lot of data. Okay, and every organization has humongous amount of data to deal with, to process it, to clean it, and then get the insights out of it, right? So first and foremost important information is, or the requirement is, to understand our audience. So who is our audience? What they want, what all are the questions they are looking the answers for from you. And um, what they wanted to target basically is very important to understand. If your audience is team lead, project managers, they would prefer to have a detailed information. Okay. Rather than if your audience is on a higher side, means CEOs, CTOs, or VPs, executives basically, they would prefer to understand and see the holistic picture, the 360-degree view of the business or of the organization, not only the sales figures or not only the performance of your team, right? They wanted to understand the process gaps which your organization may have and how to deal with that, with the solutions, the approaches. Okay. So very important to do that. uh, then to understand the data, every organization deals with a lot of data. Okay, now we do have too much of the data, but how to make it more insightful is something which we as an analyst has to understand, and for that we may need to have a few critical skills. Okay. uh, then the third point is handling errors, delays, and insufficiency. So at times the major challenge which we face while getting the insight, it either we have a data which is incomplete or inconsistent, or it is very insufficient to answer the you know the questions which our leadership wanted to have, right? So to deal with that, first is we need to improvise the process. We need to start gathering the data which we actually need to do that. So for that, if you don't have those information upfront, you will not be able to recommend the process changes which we may need to have in our organization to our leadership. Because process oriented changes will always go from top to bottom. Okay, we cannot uh, force anyone from the people who are working on the ground to capture certain information unless and until they have a mechanism, they have a platform to store that information or applications to take the input from the clients, right? So those are very, very important thing to have. Fourth is decision need more than raw numbers. So we always provide a basic reporting. I'll show you that. Okay. And we just provide the numbers, what the sales numbers are, the profit, the discounts, the how many customers and all. But what is happening, how many customers are giving us how much sales, is that information we are not deriving. Okay, we are just giving and showing the patterns, the trend over month on month and all that thing, but not the insights. Okay. If we provide if we give 5% discount, then what happened, and if we give 10% discount, then what happened to our sales, is we are not telling, or we are giving all these information to management. So if we doing that, it will be more meaningful for them to take necessary action on a timely basis, right? From what it says to what should we do is the main and is the main thing which we as an analyst needs to do, and that is our job basically, which we are not doing. Okay. And that is what the leadership and every organization is demanding basically. Understanding data challenges. So there are four key challenges which we have is knowing what the data represents, basically the business context. So if you understand the business context completely, then you will be able to not only give the meaningful insights and come up with the better reporting. Okay. Rather just showing and the patterns, okay, the trends. Identify dimension and measure. It's very, very important to understand which all aspect gives you what information, because measure is something which you wanted to calculate. Now sales we are calculating, just for a very basic example, sales we are calculating, we're showing the numbers. Okay. But if you represent it in a time dimension manner, and if you show it in a product category wise, who is the supplier, who is the customer who is giving us more sales, driving us more sales, so you can consider them, you can customize your customers and that segmentation. Okay. So that is very, very important, and that your dimensions and measures will give you categories versus the numbers. Third is understanding time, geography, product hierarchy. So, how the data is being structured within the organization, how it is being captured, how it is being stored, is also we need to understand very, very importantly. That will help us drive and come up with the better and the flexible data model, which can give us a 360-degree view of the resource. Fourth is the recognition, patterns, outlier, and seasonalities, and all that thing. So those insights we can come up with once we have all these information available, right? Uh, then the data challenges, the basic challenges, data quality issues, very, very basic. Data exists, but it is in silos. None of the solutions, none of the source tools talks to each other. It's very difficult to do that. Data may not come in a structured manner. Okay. There are two different or multiple different structures you may get the data, and it is very difficult to have it in sync or relate. Okay, it to get a 360-degree view. So that is very, very important when your audience is your consumers are the top leaders. Okay. Slow and manual process, as we said, if our data collation, data retrieval is slow and manual intervention is there, so that quality also gets degraded. So we have to improvise the process, we have to automate our process to have real time information out of our data, and that is what leadership wants, right? As the technologies and the trend are keep on changing very frequently, they also need all this information. Inability to you know inability to analyze large and challenging changing data. uh, Very important that the data is coming in a huge volume. So how to deal, how to analyze that, you need to process it, you need to sanitize it as well. and you know uh, 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 it is ever changing. Okay, so the as the trend changes, as the things changes, you need to also deal with that. So automation is the key basically. Then the limited visibility. So visibility is also something which we need to have it. If the data is there in multiple sources, now all the users, all the leaders may have a visibility once they access your report, because data is coming from multiple places. Okay, so that is very, very important. Data modeling basics. So let's understand the key area. So this is one of the key area where, as a business analyst, we need to deal with. We need to have a robust schemas incorporated. The data modeling which we generally need to have when we are building those reports. So star schema, snowflake schema, galaxy schema, and fax constellation schema are the four main schemas which we have. And 95% of the time, or majority of the project use star schema or the snowflake schema. That is best to have. 4 to 5% galaxy schema we make and use. So star schema looks like this, where you have one fact table and multi-dimension, multiple dimension tables are linked with each other and gives you a star like a schema look. So we generally call it as snow star schema. Snowflake schema is where we have an additional leg associated to a dimension leg. Very simple. So it's called snowflake schemas. Generally, that is what we use. 95% of the projects are used these. Very stable, very good to have, and the performance also improvise a lot. Then Galaxy schema, when you have multiple fact tables and you need to relate them, then we need to come up with a link table concept, which is highlighted using these dimension table. So maybe a calendar table or some geographic information. If you have, you can create a separate table and which you can use for linking these two tables. Then flex constellation schema is little complex, where one dimension table is connected to multiple dimension tables. So uh, very rarely you will see all this. It's a scenario based. Okay, you may not see it every very easy. Okay, now moving to building meaningful information, meaningful visuals. So everyone knows that visually, if you wanted to represent data, is nothing but representing the data in a graphical manner. Very simple. Okay, charts, graphs, and all that thing. And I'm sure all of you are, already creating these reports and dashboards somewhere, maybe using Excel or Tableau or any other BI tool. So these are the basic charts. I'll not go into too much of the detail. Rather, I'll just quickly, walk through the slide and move to the practical demo. So data visualization basically is very important, because easily your audiences get to know what you are trying to showcase, how the trends are looking, how the patterns are looking, whether the numbers are increasing or decreasing, or whether we are achieving our targets or not. Simple. Okay, so usage of data visualization is faster decision making. Communicate finding in a constructive ways. You need not to tell a story, rather this graph will automatically tells that. So understand connection between operational results, interact with your data, embrace engaging trend, etc., and all that thing. With an example, if I just say that understand, so we have this 1 year data from a retailer, where this data is about two products, jacket and t-shirt. So by just looking at this two liner 12 months data, very difficult to understand and make out a story out of it, right? But the moment you plot it in a graph, right, like this, so you can easily understand that the sales of jacket is pretty seasonal and t-shirt is pretty constant. Okay. So that way you can easily understand, you need not to explain anything. But having said that, if you have, I mean, we may not have only two rows of data, rather we have generally we have humongous amount of data. We need to deal with thousands and millions of records basically, which is very difficult to handle. Okay, that's where these reports comes into picture. Now, turning report into insight is something which I wanted to give you a live demo. I'll switch to a report where, okay, sec. Okay, I haven't published it, so maybe you may see it little smaller, but so sorry for that. Okay, so in this report, I'm just showing a basic report. Okay, so it's a sales overview dashboard, basically, which I just created. You can see, let me zoom in a bit. You can see that the numbers are coming at the top. So we have filter slices at the top where you can filter out on year, month, region, product category, and so on. And the numbers highlighted at the top, so you can see the yearly numbers, and then you can see the month on month trend. So currently it is showing for profit, but if you want, you can change it to C for sales. So that way you can interchange with the help of these buttons. And then this is a graphical representation over map. We are showing region wise sales. Then you can, drill down to maybe city level or something as well. One sec. Okay. So this is at a city level where you can, zoom in a bit and, check the data, right? So this is what. Now, here we have a product category wise sales showing. So we are majorly showing selling three product categories: technology, furniture, and supplies, which is represented using this donut. And which are the top five products which are shown. So generally, we all represent and show these kind of reports, right? General the whosoever we are creating basic way. But the question comes, are we providing the information, the insights which we are looking? Are we making sense based on this data? That is the question you need to ask first, rather, your management tells you, right? This is very, very important. Now, what all things we can do with this data? First is you need to understand the granularity of the data, how granular you have the data, whether you have all the dates available with you, all the regional city state information, all the product category information, resource information, what all information you have. Now, based on that, you also need to understand and understand the domain functionally, the business functionally as well, so that you can contribute to your management that okay, see this, and if it makes sense to you and help you understand your information better. Let's look at that once, maybe. I just quickly switch. So here I am using a key influencer where I'm showing the sum of sales, and I'll be showing it the breaking it first with a product category. Now this sales for the year 2023, it tells me that the overall sales which we have is categorized from technology, furniture, and office supplies, right? Then once you click on technology, it will further gives you the shipment mode. Now, how technology related products we are shipping to the customer. So you can understand that the majority of the product are being delivered using regular air. That means the data, the customers comes from not from a local area, rather majority of them are overseas customers, okay, within the country. So regular air, and there are local customers maybe within a radius of 100 or 200 kilometer. You can see that which is getting the product delivered using delivery truck. Okay. Now, regular air, if I further break down how the shipment cost is coming, is which the customer has to bear, or sometimes we have to bear, because considering whether our customers are the corporate people or the individual people, depending on that. Okay, individual people prefer to not to bear that cost. Okay, so accordingly we have to give them the offers. So that this kind kind of an information analysis will help you understand that. And if I go through, scroll down further, so was for almost 25 rupees. So every product which we are now is having 25 rupees cost, which could be the corporate people would be bearing it. And you can see the majority of the sale is being derived from that category. Okay. And then if you see 9, 4, 2.5, almost 2, and 1 rupee, these could be the individual users who are consuming our services, and they prefer to have a consumption of a less shipping cost, basically. Right? Very easily. So, furniture, if you see, now, furniture is, since furniture are bigger, products, so it's being delivered majorly through delivery truck. Okay, and very irregularly, or you can say very less through regular air, right? That way. And then further, if you drive in, you can understand the product count and all that thing. You can understand easily how large box or how it is being done. I mean, generally furniture is being done in large box, but here if you see, you can see the supplies are being delivered using small box. So these kind of a visual will help you understand these things very easily, and you can slice and dice, and you can look at the distribution. So these kind of information or graphs will help us get the meaningful insights and help the management to take better decisions. Okay, so this is one I have. And then second aspect is on the profit side. Now I'm just looking at how the profit we are, getting. So if I distribute it, you can see the major profit is coming from a corporate, customers, and then small businesses, and then home office and consumers, basically, which are the individuals or maybe a small business SMEs, right? Kind of. So, and if I look into the discount rates, okay, so corporates, the majority of the discount when we are giving them almost 3% of the business thing. So, corporate also do expect some, discount, and give more business. Okay, so that way you can have a customization. So you can come up with a range that to corporate people, if you provide 0 to 5% of discount, you can decide on how much businesses you can get, and specifically to your premium customers. Okay, so strategically you can decide on on the discount rates which you can give. And if you see here, you have 198, which is drawing you more product, more offers. It depends whom you are dealing with. It's a small organization. Okay, so here if you see small businesses, so they are growing, they need to set up the environment and all that thing. So they will still have to purchase all the technologies or licenses, hardwares from you, or maybe office supplies from you, right? So you can also take those customers and again come up with some sort of you can say the business. So yeah, if you see here, majority of the business is coming from 0 to 5% of the discount rates. Okay, and you do have four in another category, but that's very less. Okay, so that way you can easily come up with home offices or maybe consumers. They prefer to have some decent discount because they are individual people. Okay, but you can have a better dealing with them. So 7% to the max, so you can decide on the range how much you wanted to give to consumer or corporate or those small businesses, basically, from discount point of view. So this can give you a different aspect now from profit angle, from profit margin angle. So that will definitely hit on your profit margin and the project budget and all that thing. Okay, you can add your resource performance. There are a lot of analysis which you can do using these kind of visual element which is already available in Power BI, right? Okay, now moving ahead to, sorry, key influencer. Okay, so now key influencer is the analysis where you can easily find. Okay, all these. Let me just be clear here that all these are inbuilt visual elements, and they are AI driven. Okay, and will give you a lot of insights out of it. Now, in this key influencer graph, you can see that quarter 4 is driving you the maximum profit. The average profit is 307. Okay, from the almost 2400 orders. Okay, and then which is quarter 3 and then 2 and 1. Now, if you just look at almost 25%, now this is the insights you are getting. Okay, if you just hover your cursor here and you can read when quarter 4 is basically considering almost 25% of your data, analyzing 25% of your data and giving you this insights, so which is a huge amount of data. You need not to analyze it, you just need to put this data into a graphical manner and see which factors are influencing your data more, and accordingly you can take decisions. Okay, you can share these insights with your management and see what all information it drives, you know and what all action you can further take, right? Now, this is where making sense is very important. uh, Generating report and showing them in a graphical manner, coming up with the pattern and outlier is the I should not say old fashioned, but that everyone is doing now. Okay, but when we have a skill set of a business analyst or data analyst, the expectation rises from the management point of view, and they expect a lot of insights to be taken out. Now we are moving towards AI, Gen AI, and all that thing. Okay, that's the reason why these tools also are improvising themselves and coming up with these generative inbuilt features and graphical representation as well. We can also inbuilt or integrate algorithm as well. Okay, now moving back to now why business intelligence? It's a very lucrative skill to have. Majority of the people are coming into this, especially people who are having a wide range of experience, 15, 20 years of experience. They wanted to move into this area because they already have a huge domain. I mean, very good domain expertise and knowledge. Okay, now getting this kind of skills will help them represent this data and suggest to their management the open areas which they need to ahead in the market to be in the competition always. Okay, so that is where, and all the organizations are very strongly looking for the skilled people who have that detail and the understanding how to deal with this kind of a huge amount of data and represent them and get the insights out of it. Okay, now this is where we as an tech canvas helps you, and our program. Okay, the key highlight of the program is that First, this data, this content is being prepared by the highly professional team which we have here. They all are corporate people having 15, 18 years of experience, or in fact more than that. Myself is having almost 19 years of experience, and so we are 500 have built this data from considering the real problems into mind, so that while uh, you know uh, 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 giving you this knowledge through this course, we can also pass on the key aspect of our real business lives, right? Practical things. So that's the main thing. And this curriculum is in sync with the PL 300 certification exam, which you can help you gain the certification from Microsoft. Okay. And you will be having live sessions, okay, led by the instructors, highly experienced instructors, with the problem statement practical. Okay, okay. Now in this, all three or four basic pillars which you need to understand, irrespective you're coming from different key expertise or different domain, you don't have technical knowledge and skills, still you will be able to learn it, because in this course, and entirely being covered here from SQL point of view, from modeling point of view, the basics are being covered here, because those are the pillars of the of this knowledge, right? So you'll be getting the live online session. The sessions will be recorded, and you will be having access to the tutorials plus the live recordings for for an year. Okay, and you can connect to the experts at any point in time. If you have any queries, you can connect and then have a clarification session with them. How you'll be able to learn is mentioned here. So interactive live lectures, high quality recorded sessions will be available with you, which you can handle. So practical plus theoretical questionnaires also is available. Mock tests are available in our LMS portals. And as I said, you can meet up, you can connect with the experts, you can see how you can implement those practical knowledge within your project, within your organization. And at any point in time you get stuck, so you can always ask any questions from the management, from us, right? So with this, I'm done with the demonstration, and I'll open this forum for any question and answer. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. I'll be happy to answer. Or maybe you can put it in the chat. Good, if you can speak up, it will be great.
Hi Priyank, Joe here, Joel. I just wanted to know, is Power BI more versatile than Tableau?
Sorry, come again. Can you repeat your question?
Someone I think is interrupting.
Sorry.
Is Tableau more powerful than Power BI?
Okay, so I'll say it this way. See, both tools are very, very strong. Okay, and Power BI is a Microsoft product, and majorly all the organizations has collaboration with Microsoft. That is one. Okay. Second is Microsoft owns all the database, Oracle, SQL, MySQL, and all that thing. So integration is very, very easy here in Power BI compared to Tableau. One. Second. Third is from cost factor point of view. Tableau license comes with almost 1.5 lakh, wherein one developer license of Power BI comes with a $10 cost per user cost. Okay, so you can see when you are spending almost 1.5 lakh for a one developer license for an year, and almost 8 to 10,000 for 1 year in Power BI. So that is another aspect into this. Okay, third, fourth, the product team of Power BI is very very strong. You have seen that every month, ever since they have launched this product back in 2013, it's been almost 13 years. Every month, still they are improvising this tool on a monthly basis. A newer version is coming up for from them. Okay, and that is what makes it very very meaningful. Okay, and important. So. As a developer, what all feature, what all difficulties we see as a developer, if you put it in community, after 2 months, 3 months, 4 months down the line, you will see all that in comment. So if I say which is better, Tableau or Power BI, I would strongly say Power BI is very better because they are keep on continuously changing as per the business, user requirement, developers requirement. So and the last is the user friendliness. I've worked in ClickSense, ClickView, Pentaho, which is a free tool, Tableau, Power BI as well. But the user friendliness which I have seen here in Power BI, have not seen anywhere. So
And it's
that's my take.
it's cheaper than Tableau.
It's cheaper, way cheaper than Tableau as well as Click products. So we have ClickView, ClickSense as well. It's way cheaper than Click products. Yes. And it also provides you free license for the duration of 60 days, 2 months, which any developer can use the cloud version. I'm talking about premium. So you can play with it, see if it helps you. If it makes sense to you, then you can apply for or go for the licensing. So that also it gives.
Do they give all the features in the trial version of Power BI?
Yes, they do all features except for Copilot. Copilot, for that you need a separate premium license. You need to purchase. Then it will be getting enabled for you. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you. Any other question anyone has?
Can you elaborate more? Can you explain more about schema? What is schema and how you designed the schema from the database?
Oh, okay. Okay, fine. Let me. Okay. So schemas are basically it's a DBMS term. Okay, I'm not sure all of you are aware. So in database management system, whenever a database administrators design the databases, they need to come up with a logical structure. Okay, relatable structure. It's a basically a relational data model. Okay, which every database administrator has to come, and it's a logical thing. Okay, not a practical thing. So we do everything on paper first, come up with all the permutation combination, understand which table should be having how many fields or columns, what should be the data type of it, the memory it takes, which field should be the primary key, secondary key, and how these table will join with the other tables. Okay, and that is where designing of a schema comes. So it's a core database management system part. Now, when you are designing reports in Power BI, you can design your own data